Regular should be on. We're good. We got everything. I just gotta pull up my thing here and then we'll get going. Running just a couple minutes behind schedule today, but that's okay. We know what we're doing today. Let's see here. And and we're gonna. Alrighty. Looks like we're looking good. Okay. All right, so we got some characters to do. We have some really good streams as of late, so I have to really get cooking with my list. Um, let's take a review on what we got. Let me pull all these out. I think need to start coloring these. I think I'm gonna start doing that in the next day or two, so that way I can, fill this stuff up. So that way, they look a little bit more vibrant. All right, I got all this already preset up. Cool. All right, here's where we're at. I should have people like popping in, soon enough. I'm not stressed about that, but I'm gonna get going. So these are some of the cards that were done prior. Got Scarlet, we got Blade, we got a little bit of Black Panther, we got Black Cat, and yet the other day I went ahead and did Captain Britain. So he's looking really dope. I just got to get him wrapped up today, and then I think I got Captain Marvel after that. But here's the deal, and I'm gonna keep on throwing this throughout the stream today. Um, I am going to be posting the final lists or the complete lists for all of the categories. So we'll go over those categories, throughout the show and all that kind of good stuff, so that way everybody knows what's going on. But let me go ahead and wrap up Captain Britain here and have him done. And then like I said, I got to run over to Captain Marvel next and get her done. All right, Captain Britain is going to be knocked out here in a sec. Get a reference so that way it makes it a little easier for me. Close that guy. And yeah, I've been going through these lists because I mean, 1,000 characters is a lot of people. Fanboy, what's going on? Belinda, how you doing tonight this morning? Good to see you guys on the stream. Okay, so that should work. See if I can use this. That'll be better. All right, so here we go. All right, working on a little bit of Captain Britain this morning, so I'm just wrapping this one up. I was able to get this done pretty quickly the other day. So if anybody's looking for like any last minute gifts, I mean, now is the time to jump on in and grab one. I have some cool things like these custom sketch cards that you can get, or you can actually get one of the ones that are from the Road to 1000 sketch card series. It's completely up to you. I'm not going to stop you. You have that. We have some uh, coloring books on there. I also have sketch covers that are available. I think I'm gonna have to bring those out because some people don't even know what they look like. So I have to run out and go grab those in just a couple minutes because I got some good ones in there. I have things like uh, I have a Transformers one. I have um, what else do I have? I got Transformers. I have a awesome looking Bishop. Um, Trying to think because I got a lot of them. Uh, those are the ones I can think of. I have a Spawn one I'm working on. I got to get that guy finished because it's done as far as the pencils. I just got to do the inking on it. But that's Spawn and Violator. So I have this one friend of mine that purchased one last year, and he had a Toyota Tacoma. Like he's got a specific Tacoma that he drives, and he wanted to have Spawn in a Tacoma. So we put Spawn in this like overly jacked Tacoma, and it went across 2 pages, and then Violator was riding passenger with him. So I did that. And what else did I have a chance to do? Um on the new one, I went ahead and had the same kind of concept. So still Violator and Spawn, but this time it's driving his new vehicle, which is this classic Corvette, and it pops so well. Every so often you do pieces and you're like, man, I hit that one on the mark. And this is one of those. So again, working on Captain Britain this morning. He is another one. I think it's number 35 of the card series that I'm on right now. The thing is that I have to start picking up my pace a little bit because I have to do 20 cards a week to get this done the way I want it to be done. And 20 cards a week, it is a big ask, especially when you have holidays in there. But I'm sure that if I really push, I can get where I want to be. It's just going to take a little bit of effort to make that happen, but I'm sure it's going to work itself out just fine. Put these little abs in there. Okay. And do you have anything on this shit? It's barely there. It's right here. Okay. Now I'll correct that like that. Perfect. So he is, for the most part, done. I just got to get these black parts filled in. It's not going to work. We need a bigger two. So I use this chisel tip to get a lot of the bigger areas done, and then I come back around with my fine liner and clean that up. It's easier when you have um, bigger tipped pen. Had a good week last week because we had some cool um, asks. We had one person that asked for two different versions of She-Hulk, and I don't think I've done but one She-Hulk in my entire career. But the She-Hulks came out pretty good. I did take pictures of it all. So if anybody wants to see those, I do have pictures of those. That was fun because he wanted traditional She-Hulk, and then he also wanted lawyer She-Hulk. So for me, that was a good um, set to do. So that one, get rid of that pen because that pen's horrid. Okay, Captain Britain signed off. What's up, Big Happy? Welcome to the stream. All right, Captain Britain is a wrap, and he just needs to get colored. Next, I think on my list, let's see here. Let's see. So I got to go through the list. And I'm probably going to be doing a couple updates to it because I did definitely want to add She-Hulk to that list. When I had it originally, I didn't have her on there. And I'm pretty sure I made another addition. So I will, like I said, today I will be putting up all of the lists for each category. So just so you for those of you that are just listening in, you don't have to be reacting or anything like that. Let me give that total list of all the categories so that way you know what's up. All right, let's see here. 'Cause I don't want to miss any. It's very important that you guys know exactly what they are. Okay. All right. Categories, and these are in no particular order. We have wrestlers, movies, so movie characters, Pokemon, and that's going to be a good one. I've only drawn a handful of those. Anime, so we're going to span a ton of different anime characters. Thank you for the stream, or thank you for the share. Um, we got a bunch of video game characters that we're going to do. Transformers, which I'm really excited to do because there's a lot in there that I've drawn, but there's I would probably say 90% of them I've never even drawn. I've seen them, but I've never drawn them. So I'm gonna enjoy that. Cartoon characters. So it's gonna span all the cartoon characters. So we'll have stuff like the Flintstones, we'll have stuff like obviously, Transformers, Jim, She-Ra, Doug, Ren and Stimpy, all of those kind of things. Um, Image comic book characters, DC comic book characters, and obviously right now we are working on all of the Marvel characters. So I'm getting through all of those. We should be, through those. Hopefully, by next month we should have all of the Marvel done and jumping into DC. Just depends on how much of a tear I go on. But again, those lists will be up later today, the complete list. So if there's characters in there that you want to grab, please go through the list and be like, hey, I want this, 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 and this. You'll go on, and you'll be able to pick whatever you want. Okay, let me jump in here. And all the lists will be in alphabetical order, so it makes it very easy for you to find who you're looking for. Let me do one little post here so that way everybody knows. Copy this, done, and grab this guy here. And for this link. All right. Put this on the post here. So let's put the sticker on here. So that's done. All right. So let's go in here. And like I said, we're going to do Captain Marvel next. I believe she's next on the platter or plate. Definitely want to get moving on this. I was able to get through my first 20, which I'm very happy about. That was a push, but I was definitely set to do that. All right, so Captain Marvel is next. So we're gonna do Captain Marvel with the shortcut. Marvel, and let's do Let's get going here. Just need to have a little bit of music in my background so that way I can get moving. And actually, you know what I'm going to do to make things a little bit easier for myself? I think I might actually pop the music in the background because I can do that. We're going to put some music in the background. So I typically start off with, some very just chill stuff. Not that. All right, so we got Carol Danvers that we're doing this morning. Try not to go like crazy, the details, but we want her to be like strong, but not like we don't want her to be like I should say, um, like a Hulk strong. We want her just to be strong, right? It's just what we were looking for. Because Carol Danvers is pretty dope. Hey, small town artist, welcome to the stream. How are you doing this morning? Okay, so this morning we were working on our DC. Sorry, it's called Road to 1,000 sketch card series, and this is literally going to be my thing until I get done. Unless I happen to have like a commission that I got to do or whatnot. That's the only reason I'm going to shift gears because I really want to be super focused on this. It's a big challenge. Oh, nice. Good to hear. What kind of stuff do you do instead of you're in the studio? You do like fine art, painting. Oh, wow. That's good. That's good to hear. You definitely have a talent if you can pull that stuff off. How long you been painting? Quasar, that'll be good. Okay. Skip her mouse. Looking all good. Might change those eyes a little bit. Yeah, watercolors. Anybody that can pull that stuff off, which you say you do, you got a true talent. A whole different kind of control and a whole different kind of patience. Hey Kevin, how you doing this morning? Welcome to the stream. Trying to find a good picture of Carol Danvers is a pain in the butt. Google can sometimes be your friend, and it can also be a pain in the butt. I'm gonna do short hair Carol Danvers. That's my go-to. Lucky you. Hopefully you've had a lot of success on that. So would you say commercial art is harder than doing it more like freelance? Or would you say like consistency is way better? If I'm distracting you, I apologize. I'm a talker, so especially on here. So okay, cool. I'm doing my gloves a little different now. Doing comic. Okay. All right. Would you say that the type of clientele that you deal with is a little bit on the higher end as far as who you deal with, and they're a little bit more, what do I say, demanding on what they're looking for, or specific? I should say demanding, specific. Better word. Oh, that's cool. Lots of prints. That's really neat. Do you ever get to a point where you're just like, I got, uh, yeah, that's a smart move. Do you ever get to a point where you're like, I got too much of my original work. I gotta get rid of this stuff. Yeah, that's true. So you say you do acrylic and watercolor. What is it that you're doing? Are you doing like people? Are you doing scenery? Oh, I messed that up. Well, I can fix that. Let's see. Hey, Frosty. Ah, that makes sense. So you go smaller. Yeah, I've thought about doing paintings. Oh, cool. Yeah, I think I'm going to probably after I get done with this, I do as you know, like as artists, we're always just trying to, find things that we enjoy doing. Started getting into or back into doing string art pieces, like large string art pieces. And I think I'm going to start doing that in addition to the art because it's math. It's you're trying to figure out a problem and you're able to create some pretty cool things. You have to be very patient in order to do that stuff because depending on how big you go, we're talking like hours. Right now, I'm working on a piece that I've been working on for 6 hours so far, and it's a 24 by 24 piece. That's really smart. Yeah, you definitely got the skills. God bless you for being able to teach your craft. That's a blessing and a half. Because a lot of people need those skills. And if you're able to teach it to, like even kids, like young youth, it exposes them to something that they typically would not have access to. Um, I don't do it on this. I haven't done one that large on here because unfortunately with whatnot because the screen is so small, it's hard for you to see all of that stuff. But I do work on large pieces. Typically, like the biggest format I'll do on here is 11 by 17, but I can, like I said, I can go much bigger. So I there was one point I had one client that asked me to do like this retro Transformers piece for him, or Transformers and 80s characters, and he got me so hyped to do it because it was such a unique design and he had so many cool ideas for it. It turned out from being one piece to being four. Um, I obviously did not charge him, you know, as much as I could have for it because it's not what he requested, but I was already in my mind, so I ended up repurposing what I did, so I actually made my money back on it. Yeah, it ended up becoming instead of one 11 by 17, it became four 11 by 17, and it made for a very cool print. And I still have the design, so I'm going to end up redoing it, cleaning it up a little bit, and then probably doing another. original of it because there's some details I missed the first time around. So it'll still be an original. Yeah, I like doing large medium pieces with art. This particular challenge is a lot harder because you're trying to, or not you, but myself. I'm trying to pack in a lot of different little details that I can. Um, because most people, when I see them do sketch cards, they're very much just a headshot, which I don't knock them at all. But I want this to be like card sets that I used to see back in the day when I was a kid. I want to have some a little bit of uniqueness. Yeah, Whatnot is I've found, and I'm finding new things on Whatnot every day that I try it. Even people that have been on here, and this is what I love about this community, they'll help you out and they will kind of like direct you um, what to do, where to go. Um, Things that are just going to improve your workflow. So I love that about this community. I think OBS would be better for me if I was selling a lot more stuff. I've been doing this since about June. How long have you been on here? Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean this platform's pretty cool. I'll be honest with you. When I first came on here, and I'm still keeping to my philosophy of why I decided to do this. My original thought process was just for me to be able to start drawing more because I'm busy. I teach graphic design. I have a graphic design business. And it's hard for me to get time to be like creative. So I needed to open up my area so I could do some of my passion projects. So to do that, I had to regain some of my skills because strangely enough, if you don't use your skills for a while, you kind of tend to lose some of what you used to do. It's almost like, going to the gym. When you go back to the gym, you're just like, it hurts a lot. But if you start going more consistently, you start building, you know, some muscle and you start getting your strength back. And that's what I've been doing over this last um 6 months. Just rebuilding my skills. Not to say that they were lost, but you get into a rhythm where things aren't really super hard. It's like reactionary. It's like a reflex. Okay. That'll work. Yeah, because what I was doing, and I didn't even realize this until I was working in a class, and then I started working on a drawing. So because I've been doing digital for so long, and especially on an iPad, you get to that point where you start doing that pinching and squash, or pinching and stretching option on the iPad. So I literally did that to a piece of paper. I was like, like that, tried to make it larger. And I was like, this, no, I got to stop this because I have to get back to the things that I enjoy doing because I can't be utilizing those kind of techniques. That's just stupid. So I have to get my skills back. You don't even realize, like, sometimes when you are getting into the like, technology is great, but sometimes it can throw you off. You have to get back to using the things that you like to use. I don't knock anybody that utilizes iPads and all that stuff, but for me, I love physical artwork. Yeah, I mean, the digital platform is great, and the cool thing is that if you're a real, and I say real artist, like you have fundamental skills built into your stuff already, you can really make digital almost like superpower your work because you're literally taking that tool and you're refining it with your fundamental skills. And that's how you make it really pop for you. Unfortunately, we're getting into that spot where those people that have those skills are kind of going to the wayside. Um, like everybody's going to, the AI stuff and whatnot. That's fine. You can be a creative that way, but you need to have those fundamental skills. You have to because it's a lost art. Those traditional teachings are important. Yeah, it feels weird if you're not used to doing it. If you're a tactile person, which it sounds like you are, you need to have the feeling of a brush in your hand or a pencil or a pen or something in your hand. It's weird thinking that, I'm putting stuff on the screen and it's going to work, you know. You're trusting that process. But here's the flip side to it. Like when you use Photoshop, you can literally use Photoshop to do digital painting or digital drawings. The problem with that is that when you get into that cycle, things like flipping a piece of paper, erasing with a pen with an eraser and getting those little like eraser bits or the little imperfections that you have or the eraser or the graphite remainders, like you see all that detail that you had before, they're not there. Everything's just super clean, and I think that's not. I don't like that. So, like for me, like this is cool because I get to see the artwork underneath the ink, so I can kind of see what the thought process was of my work. Can't do that when you have a digital piece because the digital is just that it's there to clean up stuff, or at least that's the way it's been turned into. And unfortunately, people have kind of utilized digital in the wrong way, in my eyes, um, to fix all the problems that they make mistakes on. I mean, I knew this artist. His name is Clayman. He still doesn't work for like Marvel and all these other companies. Um, this dude is amazing. Like he is super duper talented. His work is phenomenal. I never was able to get a piece of his, but his work was so clean. And when a digital artist would come up and work on his stuff, they would kind of dilute the quality of his work. Like they would remove lines, they would cover up stuff with color and stuff like that, which again, it dilutes the quality of the work. Whereas somebody with fundamental skills that really know, like, have a bond with that particular artist will amplify the work that that artist does, not take away things that are important about the artwork. Okay, Carol Danvers is done. Well, that didn't take too long. It was wow. It took me a little bit longer than I thought. Hmm. I'm only going till Go until 9 because I gotta go teach a class today. All right, so that one's good. Who do I got next? Who's next on the plate? Carnage. Okay, game on. You too. Take care. Have a great day. Thanks for chatting, and good luck on your whatnot. Do I have Venom on my list? Oh, I sure hope as heck I do. Holy cow, I don't even have Venom on there. Yep, I could definitely gotta update this list. This is not gonna work. I can't believe I didn't put him on there. Well, it looks like that list is gonna definitely get updated today. Okay, Carnage. See how massively nasty I want to make this guy. Okay. Yeah, I think they did Venom Carnage dirty on the movie. A lot of people liked it. I was not a fan. I think he could have been a way better character. And they had a great actor for him too. Such a cool character. You know, I want to listen to that one. No, listen to get some Carnage in here. Bring in there? No, not yet. Yeah, this Carnage character is pretty dope. All right, so we're gonna put his hand like kind of like creaking out like that. Get there. Man, they just dropped a trailer teaser for what is it for? Hey Jose, how you doing today? Um, for Supergirl, and they're teasing me. So I think good to see you up here. Hope you're having a great morning. So I think they're going to drop that trailer. It's either going to pop up on Wednesday or it's going to be there on Thursday. One of those 2 days. They were smart to drop the trailer early because as soon as the um, Doomsday trailer comes out, game over. Like nothing else is like that is going to consume everything. Everybody's talking about the Netflix deal right now, but as soon as that trailer drops, the Marvel one, everybody's going to be talking about that thing. Um, so I'm looking forward to that Supergirl trailer. It look just the way that they set it up, and she's just sitting on that ship, and then they're like coming soon. I was super duper stoked to see that. It looks like it's going to be a great movie. The tone of it seems very very cool. Just from the preview, I mean that's kind of crazy that you're able to give us that kind of feel just off of a preview. I'm looking forward to that. Um, So Jose, I think you're new to the stream, so I'm just gonna give you the spiel so that way you know what's going on. I am working on my Road to 1,000. This is a sketch card series where I'm doing 1,000 sketch cards in a specific series. So I'm doing Marvel, DC, Image comic books, Transformers, Pokemon, anime, movie characters, and I believe wrestlers. I'm also doing too. So all of those are going to be covered in the 1,000 card series. And later today, I'm actually going to drop just all of the characters that I have in mind for each series. So if people want to go ahead and order them, they can. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep on track and I'm just going to keep on knocking them one at a time. Get his little tooth there. So right now I'm working on Carnage. I did Captain Marvel and I did Captain Britain. So those are the ones that have been done this morning. Others that I've done, I did Loki a while ago, but he's gone. Um, another one can be made. Uh, right now, I believe I'm on number 30. I think I'm on 36. Yeah, I think I'm at 36. I have to do 20 a week. Yeah, this week is going to be this going into Christmas is going to be a little bit of a nightmare, but I'm if I can pack in a bunch before Christmas, then I'll be in good shape. But now I just got to get on the point where I'm posting all these things daily, and I can't just be inking them; they have to be fully colored. So that's the other part that I have to kind of get into a rhythm of doing too. Because right now everything's just getting inked. So like if you take a look here, it's like I got like cables done. That's Cannonball. Sorry about the glare. Got Captain America there. Um, And like I said, all of these need to be colored. Zemo, Beast, um, Beta Ray Bill, got Bishop, Black Bolt. So if you ever saw that, what is it called? Doctor Strange 2, he's in there. Black Cat, she might be making an appearance in the new Spider Man. Black Panther, um, Black Widow. Hey, Shannon, welcome. One of my favorite characters, Blade. Um, don't remember this lady's name. Oh, her name is Abigail Brand. That's what it is. This is Adam Warlock. You have Agent 13, so Peggy Carter's niece. Um, Adonis Chow, which is kind of like he's like a Hulk. America Chavez. This one is Annihilus. I just have to wrap up Ant-Man, which I didn't realize I didn't have done, and then Banshee. So all of those are the ones that I've had a chance to knock out. But again, I got to get all those colored because they're not going to be as good in black and white. So I got a lot of work to do on those. So hopefully over the next couple days, I'll be able to get all those done. Once I get them colored, it doesn't take very long to do. It's probably like a 20 to 30 minute process because not only do they get colored, they in just marker, I do a colored pencil to kind of tie everything together. So it's a lot. And then if somebody decides that they want to order something, then I stop what I'm doing and I have to get that piece done because I don't want their stuff to fall in the cracks. I have a piece that I'm going to be doing for a World War Hulk that I got commissioned for. I've had a couple of ideas for it, but I'd want to get it right because it's a cover. I'm going to probably make it bigger than what it's supposed to be. It's just supposed to be Hulk, but the guy said go crazy, so I'm going to do my thing. And if you give me those words to go crazy, I'm definitely going to do the work. And I can't believe last week was the bombshell that we got for Netflix dropping $87 billion cash. Like that's their offer. And I just hope everybody gets the whole picture of how that whole thing's going because there's facts to it. And no, the cover that I'm working on, let me actually show you what it's going to look like. So he's got this piece. So it's a World War Hulk. So I'm doing that. But I will say this much, which I need to do on the stream. In these next few streams, I'm going to be doing. I have a Sora from Kingdom Hearts. I'm going to be doing that one's going to be 11 by 17. I have a what is it? It's the not the steampunk, but the spider punk. I'm doing an 11 by 17, and then I also have a Tails from Sonic that I'm doing that's 11 by 17. Oh, I almost forgot. I'm doing a LeBron James too. That's 11 by 17. I think the LeBron James though, I'm going to do a little different because I'm going to do that with realism versus my comic booky stuff. So yeah, I used to do everything in 11 by 17. But what I found is that time wise, I was taking a lot of time doing all of those pieces and I wasn't getting a lot of return on them. I mean, as far as like a print and stuff like that, they made sense. Like I have like I did this dope uh Gambit years ago, which I thought was every bit worth it. That was a fun piece to do. But it's Gambit. You can't really go wrong with that, right? So yeah, that's the only thing. Like when you do bigger pieces, you have to be careful because you have to charge accordingly. I mean, as a new artist, I wasn't really thinking about that. I was just like, oh, I want to do something really big because I don't want to lose any of the details. But yeah, that could be a little bit of a double-edged sword. But even on those sketch covers, man, I can do some crazy stuff on them because it's still big enough that you can do that. You can come up with some really cool things. There's enough real estate there. A lot of people don't believe that. Yeah, on comic book pages, I'm always doing 11 by 17. That's a must. For example, like this whole project is getting me ramped up for a bigger project that I have waiting down the road. So I have this story that I've been wanting to tell for years, and I have the first part of it written, and I know where the story's going to go, but it's going to be 5 chapters, and I'm hopefully looking at like 30 to 42, sorry, 32 to 48 pages per book, so I can have a nice little graphic novel at the end of the day. This is way too thick. So what kind of stuff do you like to draw? So let me turn this way so you can see it a little better. All right, got about 20 minutes. That's good. Yeah, I always like to find out like what people do. Nice to my whole thing on here, in addition to, just me getting more time to draw, was about educating people on things. Um, hey Josie, welcome. One thing that I told like on my very first stream. Okay, cool. That'll be so. This work that I could actually take a look at now. I'm definitely going to check it out. If it's published and I can see it, I'm definitely going to check it out. All right, I definitely point this out. Yeah, I remember I would tell people when I first started off in this cast months ago, is that I used to like compare myself to other people. It's kind of weird. I saw this thing The Rock posted the other day. It was a similar statement, but he would kind of say, "What am I willing to do that other people won't do?" So now, as he's gotten older, it's now, what am I willing to do for myself? What am I willing to do? So Yeah, man, I would love to see a couple of those. Let me send that over to you now. Definitely love to check out your work. Let me send that over to you. I'll message it to you on whatnot real fast. Give me one sec. But I would preach, don't compare yourself. That's a trap. And I would say that specific to like when I go to conventions, I would see somebody else doing better, and that's a trap. There's a reason why they're doing better, and the reason why they're doing better is because it's connection. Hey Kay, welcome to the stream. Good morning. Let's see here. Follow you, Jose, and I'll send you this message real fast so that way you can send it on over. Eh, There we go. Cool. All right, Jose, I just sent that stuff over to you. You know what? The Rock is one of those people that he's a very inspirational person, but he works hard. He works very hard. But if you notice that he hasn't posted in a long time, he didn't start posting up until he just did that the Smashing Machine movie. That's when he started coming back. But I'm glad that he took that hiatus because the work that he's done. I hate to hate on him, but the movies that he's done have not been the greatest. You know. Hey Manny, how you doing? So think about it. Like you had Red One that came out. The best part of Red One was when they were doing the slapping contest. That was the funniest part. Don't get me wrong, Chris. I can't remember. Chris Evans was really funny, and I liked him. But The Rock overall, that movie was not good. There's another movie that he had come out in addition to that, not good as well. Um, Smashing Machine was actually pretty good. I wish it had dug a little deeper, but it was a good movie. It was good to kind of not recognize The Rock as The Rock. But that dude works so hard, so hard. Definitely one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. However, I'm going to admit to this because I most people will say I will never admit to this, but I will. So back in the day, do you guys remember when The Rock and Stone Cold were like they were the top of the top of the top back in the 90s? So when that whole thing was going on, you either were Team Rock or you were Team Stone Cold. There was no in the middle. It was that cut and dry. I was definitely Team Stone Cold. I loved watching a dude come out there and just kicking ass, drinking a beer, telling people to F off, giving them the finger. That was the man. Man, now look, listen, Rocky Maivia, I'm so glad that that went that whole weird like Indian slash Hawaiian outfit thing going on that he did when in Survivor Series in '95. No, that had to go. That was horrible. I believe that like when The Rock looks at his career, he's like, yeah, that was a bad move. But that's okay. You know what? It's okay. Everybody starts somewhere. And usually when you start, it's pretty bad. I mean, anybody that looks at like Stone Cold had hair back in the day, like long hair. Now he's bald and he's like the shit, right? Man, yeah, I mean, he was with the something like the Pretty Boys or something like that. He was with another wrestler, Ryan something. His partner died though. Ryan Pillman. Yeah, I would say like Ryan Reynolds and The Rock play off of each other really well. Stan Andreas, I hate to say it, it's a guilty pleasure. That and watching him in what is it, Rampage, those are guilty pleasures. I love watching those movies. They're great. Um, but things like Jumanji, he's really good at. But I think it's one of those things where he just when he doesn't feel when you feel like he's like phoning it in, or it seems like he's phoning it in. I'm not saying that's what he does, but it seems like he's phoning it in. That's when it doesn't click. Yeah, I mean, I'll agree. Deadpool, hands down, probably one of the best characters that they brought into the comic book, you know, world. Like I remember Deadpool when he didn't talk. Like he was just a straight up assassin. That was my Deadpool. So a lot of people don't even realize. Like everybody's used to this funny Deadpool. Don't get me wrong, it is good to see that. But um Deadpool as just a straight up assassin, he was awesome. Um so if you guys ever see have you guys seen the Deadpool Wolverine when they're doing the walk up scene and you see all of a sudden it says Liefeld only feet. So Liefeld's the guy that created or co-created Deadpool. So that's when he actually was the assassin before he became the merc with a mouth. All right, who do I got next? Carnage. I gotta do Cloak. That's my next one. Look, I will say this to my dying day. Deadpool is literally just a knockoff version of Deathstroke from DC. I'll say it. That's what he is. I mean, honestly, he just doesn't have like the cuffs and all that kind of good stuff and all the weaponry and all that. But the original design was that. Yeah, Red Hood is dope. Wolverine is look, Wolverine, I will agree with you. Wolverine is probably one of the he's a goat for sure. Hugh Jackman as Wolverine is a goat. I will say that. I mean, I'm the one of the people that came out of X-Men the first movie. I said the movie was good. I bought it on VHS and all that stuff. However, I was one of the haters about Wolverine. I will stand by that I did say that. So back when that came out, if any of you remember when Wolverine first came out, where did the claws come from? They came from in between his hands, right? So any Marvel fan was like, "What the hell is this? Why is that the case?" Okay? Because in the comic books, anybody that knows like comic books, the claws were part of gloves. They weren't part of his body. The wooden things were, but the claws were actually in his gloves. So anybody that had the gloves could, have Wolverine's claws. So it made sense that they came out. I understood that as I grew up. If they ever make an Omega Red show up in Marvel, I will lose my shit because Omega Red is awesome. I mean, a guy that has tentacles coming out of his arms and he's this awesome Russian version of Wolverine, incredible. Gambit, I'm really happy about. I wish that they had kept Tyler Kitsch as Gambit. I don't have an issue with Channing Tatum. I think Channing Tatum is dope. I've loved him ever since I saw him back in Mr. or Carter, the basketball movie. Ever since I saw him in there, I was like, this guy is going to be a star. Or Coach Carter, that's what it was. However, Tyler Kitsch would have been the better version of Gambit. The one that we saw in the first Wolverine movie. That's the Gambit I liked. If we're looking at Magneto's, I can't really take a pick between the two Magnetos because both were really, really good. Same thing with Professor X. You know, those two, both actors slayed that role. Yeah, but if you think about it, you know, each one of them was good in their own right, you know, and you can kind of look at it like the way you can look at it is if you look at Days of Future Past, you can see that Days of Future Past, you know, version fit just like, you know, the young version fit for his time period. So both are good. I like the younger one preferably. I like that better because I think he had a better storyline. Hands down, I really did. Again, that's one of those series, like the X-Men one, the first two were really good. Like X-Men 1, X-Men 2, thumbs up, great. Days of Future Past and First Class, great. The next two were complete booty. They were just horrible. Very, very bad movies. Watchmen is a fantastic movie. You know, I will Zack Snyder's run, and people don't believe this, but Zack Snyder's run when he did Watchmen, when he did that one movie that he did with the girls. There's a movie where he had these girls that were in a psych ward. That movie was really good. And then of course you have Man of Steel. All of those, like Zack Snyder, if he was to direct a music video, all of those movies would be awesome. Every one of them. Every one of them. And yes, X-Men 97 and X-Men the original 97 were fantastic. Kaylee, have you had a chance to watch The Boys yet? Because if you like Watchmen, you'll love The Boys. Oh my goodness. Let me just tell you this right now. And anybody that's on here that's seen it, just be prepared for the first 10 minutes because that's the kind of pacing that you're going to get. No. Is that the one with the doll? Like there's 9 dolls? Like they're all stitched together? Is that what that I can't remember if that's what it is. Yes, I have seen that. That was a great movie. And each doll is different. Like the one doll, I believe, has like one eye, like the main character, and then it's got like siblings. Have I seen Collector? Let me see. Um, yes, I have seen The Collector. Yes, I have definitely seen that. Very eerie movie. Very weird, but good. Yeah, there's a lot. Have you watched Stranger Things at least? Like season 5? Well, Stranger Things isn't like realistic. So if you like, are you a fan of like the Goonies at all or 80s style movies? Hey Noah, if you are a fan of that, then you'll like that. Okay, so the way that Stranger Things is set up, it's all based in the 80s. So think of that 80s love that we all used to like of those movies, like with kids, and it's that kind of setup. Hey Swirl, what's up? If you're a fan of I guarantee you, if it doesn't hook you in the first two episodes, and I tell everybody, watch the first two, and this is of any show. Watch the first two episodes of Stranger Things, and then make your decision. If you can't get past the first two, then it's probably not for you. But once you watch it, it gives you a good feel. The first two episodes give you kind of like a good feel of where you're about to go. Yeah, I'm a bit like I watch a lot of documentaries and watch a lot of other things. Like I said, watch the first two. I just finished watching that P Diddy special that 50 Cent dropped on Netflix. Listen, if you've ever grew up watching that whole process, like I watched Diddy from when he was like younger all the way to where he is now. Um, Getting the details behind the scenes are insane. Um, yes, and they do touch on that, but I never understood as to why that was such a significant thing, but you get to understand why it's important. Man, 50 Cent, it was sitting on a gold mine. This man is so just brilliant at what he did. I'm telling you, P. Diddy must have like did something so vulgar to him. When you see it, you'll understand why this is such a bomb for him. Like he legit went for P. Diddy's guts. I mean, he just was P. Diddy must have pissed him off in a royally bad way. But a documentary worth watching. Trying to think of what else I because I want like obviously when you're working you gotta you listen to things you don't necessarily watch them all. And that's what I do. So I throw stuff on in the background, nonsensical stuff. You don't have to. You can just turn your head and you're like, oh, I know where they're at right now. I get it. So if you like Predator kind of stuff, watch Killer of Killers. So they just had that Borderlands come out movie. That movie come out, but watch Killer of Killers. That movie is freaking insane. It's so good. Man, it's so good. For those of you that haven't seen it, yeah, I agree. That is true. It is like a good tie-in. I didn't even think about that, but yes. um, but yeah, I would definitely tell you if you haven't seen it, watching Killer of Killers. It's very different because the guys that are running that whole thing, so between Alien and Predator, they're running it very well. Um, they stopped going for, oh, we have a predator and it's going to go kill humans. They got out of that whole idea. Okay, they in this particular one, Killer Killers, one, it's in the vein of kind of um like the Spider-Man as far as like the animation style. So it's kind of like that choppy kind of animation, but it's still very clean. So it follows three different warriors, one that's a Viking, one that is a samurai, and then one that is a pilot. So all three of them are then uh, well, challenged, and then it goes to a climax. So I'm not going to tell you what happens, but um, it's it was unexpected because what the trailer showed versus what you see are two different things. Because it's way better than what the trailer showed, and the trailer is really good. I agree. That would have been great, but in the context of what they were trying to do, it made sense. It made sense. If you have good anthologies and they're done well, like the Matrix anthology, chef's kiss. I mean, I actually even think it's better than the movies themselves. Um, the Halo one, oh my god, Halo's one is fantastic. Um, the Star Wars Visions, another one. Star Wars Visions, I could be like, make a movie out of that, and that. We're good. I mean, just great, great stuff. But yeah, I would definitely tell you to check that out. Um, Top one, and everybody's got their favorite, but the Samurai Sith first episode, Star Wars Visions, epic. It's okay if you. I know you have kids, so if you and your husband are like Star Wars fans, or even just like cartoons and stuff like that, check out Star Wars Visions. It's fun. You'll love it. It's got a little bit of everything for everybody. Look at that pendant on his chest. That's what Oh, well, you know what? Check it out. You'll love it. You will love it. I mean, visually, it's just great. I mean, anybody that's a big fan of movies, this month, just in trailers alone, is going to blow people's minds. Like they just dropped the teaser for the Supergirl. I am not a fan of Supergirl in the movie space. Yes, that anthology was fire. I wish they had done more with my favorite one, which was the Mega Man one, but Mega Man was my least favorite. The Keanu Reeves one was great. The Warhammer was really fun. Dungeons and Dragons was dope. Um, there are a whole bunch of other ones, but all of them were great. Mega Man was the one I wanted to see the most, and I liked it the least. Yeah, yeah. I just wish they could bring the fire a little bit more. I think if they were able to do a little bit more with that, it'd be really cool. Like if you ever seen Love, Death, and Robots on Netflix, they're in that area. The last series wasn't so good, but the ones prior were pretty good. Yeah. 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 All of them were well done. I mean, that studio, the guy that brought that to life, same guy that did Love, Death, and Robots. He's also the same guy that directed the first Deadpool. So again, hey, if you want to see something really good, Love, Death, and Robots and Secret Level, produced by the same guy. So if you like that, you're gonna love this. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that they're gonna come out with another set. Okay, all right. So I have to speak to this because I'm glad I'm not the only person. I know there's a lot of people, but you're the first person I've actually talked to about this. Avatar, not the Netflix one. I'm talking about the movie that came out, the M Night Shyamalan one, right? The preview was what I wanted in a movie. Like you see him with his staff flicking it all around in the dark. He's knocking off all these pieces of bits of fire and all that stuff. That's what I was looking for because that matched the tone of the animated series. I kid you not. I went to the movie. I watched the first 10 minutes, fell asleep, and woke up right when he was doing the wave part and found out that was the very last part of the movie. That's how boring that movie was. That's how bad that movie was. I was pissed. Thank God I didn't pay the prices that I pay for movies now because I would have been like, you need to give me my money back. Yeah, I mean, it just it was not M. Night Shyamalan. I think he could have made a good movie, but I don't think he was ready to make that movie. That movie was not for him. Tonally, his tones are way different than that movie are. Yeah, and it just he wasn't. If anybody watches like M. Night Shyamalan, his tones are very slow and they have a singular direction. They build up to one thing. With that, with a Avatar, that should have been stretched over a series of movies. We should have been introduced to one part in this movie, another part in another movie, and so on and so forth. I think that's what they were trying to do, but they didn't convey it very well because they did have that like little tag at the very end. Um, but it wasn't well done at all. Um, well, he just did. M Night Shyamalan just did this movie with Josh Hartnett, and it was about a serial killer that was trapped inside of a concert, and he had to figure out a way to get out of the concert. So that movie was really good because one, he had a great actor, and then two, the story was really cool. Except when they got to the end of it, it was kind of weird. But the whole part, the tension that he creates, that's cool, and that's where M Night really pops. So when you look at the Sixth Sense, you have that tension, you know, that he builds, and it's not for everybody. Like his worst movie of all time, outside of Avatar, The Happening, is complete crap. When you find out that it's the trees that are killing people, and I'm sorry if I spoiled that for anybody, that movie was horrible. If I were if I were Marky Mark, I'd be like, yeah, I know you saw me in that movie, but I must have been drunk or something when I was playing that because that movie was complete booty. Like I just need to check. Oh. Yeah, After Earth was good, it was bad. Babylon Earth was really bad. Hey, Stormtrooper, how you doing? Yeah, if anybody remembers that movie with John Travolta, this guy with the big boots, horrible movie. Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. Like that is one of those movies that how Walmart used to have the cassette bins or the DVD bins. That's the one that would be at the very very bottom. Like you would just see the front of it, and you'd be like, yeah, no, mm-mm. That's why it's down there. True, true. I mean, nowadays you can just go straight up into like the Dollar General, and you'll still see one, or Dollar Tree, and you'll see it over there, and you'll be like, I don't need it. I really don't need it. And if I really want to torture myself, that's when I'll buy it. Yeah, I think John Travolta was just trying to get a check on that one. Yeah. Right now, I'm kind of in a because you brought up Avatar. I'm kind of getting softened on going to see Avatar 3. How about you guys? This is actually a graph gear 1000. So the different graph gears that I have a 1000, I think I have an 800 and a 600, but all of them I just use different pencil leads. So I think this guy has got the 3. Yeah, this is a point 0.3. My go-to is a point 0.5, and then my um I do between a point 0.3, point 0.5, and a point 0.7. Those are the 3 that I use. I like these because they have the grip at the front. So and you can get these online. You don't have to get the best one, but if you just get this series, not the 1000, but just any of the graph gear, they're really good. So the Avatar one, I I had a hate on for Avatar for the longest because the first movie basically was Fern Gully, but with blue people. So anybody that's seen the movie will understand what I mean by that. I will always tell somebody visually, Avatar is stunning. Like it is so beautiful. The CG in that is like the crispness of it, and even when you watch it on TV, because usually computer graphics don't translate well, you can always see a little bit of lag in them. The fact that you're able to move it right to TV or even look at it on streaming and it's still got that nice crisp quality, that just shows me that they put a lot of work into it. Um, as far as story, in my opinion, I wish the stories were stronger. And maybe with this third one, they're going to be able to do that. I like the fact that when James Cameron was being interviewed about this specific movie, this deals more with the psychology of the characters, specifically to the fire characters, the fire avatar, because it shows what happens when your people are destroyed. What is the outcome? What happens from that trauma? So do you become weak, or do you become fierce? Do you become angered? So that's what they're going to be, grappling with. Yeah, I mean, everybody's got their connection. I think the other part that I don't understand with the whole Avatar thing is I don't get how it made $2 billion or $2.3 billion. I don't. That part is the weirdest part. I don't understand that. Like, I get why Titanic. was is still up there in the top 5 for billion-dollar movies and being the first one to hit it. Maybe, I guess. Like, I get, like, how the second one would have made the $1 billion, and I understand why it made so much, but the first one, we've seen movies that have had great visuals on it. I just I don't know if it's just like a visual masterpiece or the fact that it's a great story. I don't know. I really don't know. You know, when we watch the other couple movies that have been in the $2 billion club, because I think there's 3 of them. So you have Endgame, Avatar 1, Avatar 2. I think those are the only 3 that are in the $2 billion club. Um Endgame makes sense because it took a long time to build to that. We're talking 20 plus movies to make that movie the way it is. It was basically the conclusion. Like, I'm going back to go watch Endgame when it comes out in September. I don't give a shit if they have a end credit scene that's going to lead into the next movie. That's not why I'm going to see it. The best way to watch that movie is in the theater, and maybe that's what the connection is for Avatar. Because the best way to watch Avatar is in the movie. That's how you get the best experience out of it. So maybe that's how it works. And plus the fact that it's also, you know, in a lot of IMAX theaters, that might be a helper to it too. Yeah, I will never. I mean, I don't want to take. I don't want to say that I hate Avatar because I don't hate it. I think from an artistic standpoint, I think it's really really good. But I don't like the fact that that movie basically, in a lot of ways, if you really take a look at it, it looks and feels just like the original Avatar, or not Avatar, but Fern Gully movie. But there, now that, like I said, after years of just looking at things, I've softened a lot because there's a lot of other movies that do the same thing, and I don't have that same kind of feeling about it. How many movies have we seen where we have the young boy that gets mentored and gets raised up? Well, that's Harry Potter and that's Star Wars. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. So I'm doing all of the Transformers guys. Let's say I'm doing Rodimus Prime. I'm doing what is it? Before he ends up turning into Rodimus Prime. I can't remember. Hot Rod. I'm doing Cup. I'm doing RC. I have um I'm doing the Quintessons. I obviously got to have Unicron, that kind of stuff. So I'm going to have all of that in there. And like I said, the lists are going up today. So you'll be able to see all of that. And they'll be in alphabetical order. So you'll be able to see all those characters. But yeah, like I said, my heart is softening a little bit for that Avatar movie. And I'm getting intrigued to see it. It looks beautiful. I have something where I like seeing the bad guys, you know, getting their just desserts. That for me is great. Like, I like watching the bad guys win. Yeah, that's a good way to do it. I mean, that way you don't end up spending a ton. That's a smart move. But I like seeing the bad guys win. So like Like when you saw the snap in Endgame, or sorry, in Infinity War, I was like, damn, they actually went there. You know, when Luke Skywalker lost his hand from Vader in Empire Strikes Back, I was like, whoa, right? Because I would rewind that thing on my VHS because I'm like, he actually cut his hand off. That man actually did that. Yeah, I mean, when you see bad guys go for it, that is, it's fun for me. Well, like here in our area of Florida, we have $2 Tuesdays. So like our AMC will do like you can get everything for $2 or $5. So double check that. Like if you have an AMC in your area, check that and see if they have one of those going on. Oh, and they also have like AMC does Wednesdays. The other theater I had does $2 Tuesdays. Yeah, I mean Guardians was, it was well done. Very well done. If there's anybody out there that can explain one thing to me, how is Gamora still alive? I need to know that. Somebody needs to help me understand that. How did she survive the snap? Oh no, no, I know she's from a different timeline. I get that. But how is it that like that Gamora and Thanos are from the same timeline? How is it that she stayed alive? Right, I get that. That part I understand, but like Gamora is from the same timeline as Thanos, right? And Thanos got snapped. All of his people got snapped. And those guys were all from the same timeline. How is she still alive? Did when he did the snap end up saving her life? He was like, "Okay, I want you to bring back everybody and save Gamora." Well, Tony Stark didn't. Oh yeah, he did do the snap. I forgot he did do the snap. Maybe he did. I don't know. I'm wondering if they're going to touch on that when they do the next movie because that is the only question I have. That is probably true. They're probably like, "Hey, look, we've invested a lot into her. We can't kill her off. She's very expensive. We can't do that. She's got a long-term plan. Really good contract." Okay, let's break this down, okay? So for Doctor Doom, how they're going to set this up, and this is something that they have to do from the very beginning. If you guys remember in Infinity War, when we first saw Thanos, right? We heard that voice, and then he arrives, right? So we already know he's this presence, right? We didn't know how strong of a presence because everybody had been doing his bidding for him prior. Then all of a sudden, Hulk shows up. All right, Hulk's about to go ahead and do some work, all right, on Thanos. And then Thanos, sorry, the one guy says, "Hold on, don't let him. He needs to, let him have his fun." And Thanos basically wrecks house on Hulk with no problems. Okay, What would be kind of poetic, and if they pull this off, they do it right. And I've said this many times. There's a storyline where Thanos goes against Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom literally rips his skeleton out of his body. And all you see is just the skeleton of Thanos. If they start the movie off with that, you already know where we're gonna go. Because that will set a bar that nobody can beat. Nobody will be able to beat that. And that will let you know that Tony Stark as Doomsday is a whole different animal. And the way that and if anybody's been following it, like what they're going to do with this new Doomsday literally is a sequel to Endgame. So that's one of the reasons why they're re-releasing the Endgame movie, because they're going to have a cut scene at the end that ties you into Doomsday. I have heard rumor that a lot of this has to do the reason why we're running into this Doomsday problem is that it's based upon what Steve Rogers did trying to drop the stones back. And that's what causes all of this problem. Well, who in the cast has got you a little thrown? But if they're able to make sense of it, like if it makes we all know that, Doctor Doom is a variant of Tony Stark, right? So we've seen Tony Stark pissed off, right? Like when he went head to head with Captain America, that was bad. Like when he got pissed off at Captain America because he didn't show up to help them battle Thanos, he was pissed off. Now you have a variant of Tony Stark that is equally as pissed off. Hey Kay, how you doing? Haven't seen you in a minute. You've been killing it on your streams. I've seen your tattoo work is just fire. Listen, if you guys want to see some dope tattoo work, some really super clean artwork, check out her stream. It is like it's awesome. Um yes, I do think it is a money grab, but instead of looking at it like I don't know why they picked RDJ to do Tony Stark. Instead of looking at it from that aspect, you look at it from this way. Um Everything is going fantastic. I'm working on this card series, so right now I think I'm up to like 37 right now because I'm working on Cloak right now. But I did three others though. So those guys right there. Um, so instead of looking at it like I don't know why they picked him, look at it from this aspect. Okay, they picked him. What are they going to do with him? Because you have the hardest task. Everybody knows him as Tony Stark, the good, charismatic a hole. That's what everybody knows him as. Now you have to rebuild a character or make a new character where people are like, I don't remember him as that. This dude is off the chain crazy. Like you have to literally paint a new version of this character so people kind of get the whole Iron Man thing out of their heads. And for me, because I grew up with him as an actor, I like to see him more dynamic. I want to see him as a bad guy because he's going to make a really good bad guy. Robert Downey Jr., people don't this is the thing, people sleep on that dude. They've known him so long as this character, seeing him as a more dynamic, more diverse, deeper character is going to be a lot of fun for not only him, but also for us as fans. And Robert Downey Jr. is a very good actor. All right, dude, have a good one. I'm looking forward to the books, and as soon as I get them and I read them, I'll give you some feedback on it and tell you what I think. Thanks for hanging. We as movie fans are about to, enjoy a lot of fun stuff. I mean, I just went to go see that. If you guys haven't seen it, have you seen Wicked for good? Yeah, I just went to go see that. I never I wanted to see Wicked because I'm familiar with the play. I love the whole lore behind it. Um, the one thing that I told everybody is that I don't know how I feel about Ariana Grande being in these movies because I don't want to see Ariana Grande working as Ariana Grande. I don't want to see that. I can't. It'll completely take me out of the movie. Um, have you seen the first one? Yeah, the first Wicked is pretty spectacular. It is everything that you wanted to see in this movie. It is beautiful. It's gorgeous. Okay, I would say you want to definitely, check it out. At least I would say this. Watch the first movie. Um, if you're gonna watch Wicked for good, it's better if you watch them back to back. You don't want to watch them separately. And there's a reason for it. I recommend that you watch it back to back. Yeah, the book. Well, if you read the books are different than the movie. I mean, that's usually the case with any movie, so I shouldn't even say it about the movie, but that's usually the case. Um, the play, this movie was gorgeous, and like I said, Ariana Grande is not Ariana Grande in this movie. She is Glinda the Good Witch, and she does a fantastic role. The music in it is phenomenal. It's very beautiful. It's a typical musical set of numbers, but it's gorgeous. Definitely my cup of tea. I mean, it's not my favorite musical. I will definitely say, if we're talking like musicals as far as movies, The Greatest Showman is probably my favorite, and behind that is Hamilton. Well, probably Hamilton first, then Greatest Showman, and then Rent. Those are my top three. And the crazy thing is, a lot of those people that were in some of those, they kind of like circled around, and they were all. within those plays. Because Adina Menzel was in Rent. She was in Wicked. She wasn't in Greatest Showman though. All right, I'll be back up here on Thursday. So if I see you there, look forward to seeing you. Have a good one. You know what? For the longest, Wizard of Oz, the movie, I could not watch that movie. It used to scare the shit out of me. And not so much for anything but the monkeys. They used to freak me out. I wouldn't watch that at all. The monkeys were really creepy to me. I don't know what it was. They were just really weird. I mean, The Wizard of Oz is a classic. You know, it's one of the best. I mean, nothing like seeing, the Yellow Brick Road for the first time. Oh, I will definitely. I'm gonna have to check you out when you're back up on there on the stream. When are you streaming next time, Kay? Okay, cool. Might have to jump on there. I'll probably listen to you while I'm teaching today. Yeah, it's a great one. In Greece, Greece is pretty fun too. Fiddler on the Roof is a good one. It's another one of my favorites. I never was a big fan of The Sound of Music. I'm one of those rare people that's not like over the moon with that one. Cats, I've never been a fan of. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I just the music is beautiful. I've never been a fan of it. It never was for me. It's okay. You're a world traveler, huh? Yeah, I can definitely say that was yeah, he definitely was, fantastic. He's singing in the rain. What? It's great stuff. No, La La Land's a musical, so I would give that one. Hey Jane, how you doing? Really? So we have to ask, what part did you play in Les Mis? Really? Okay. So is that the only play that you did in high school? So it begs the question, why didn't you do more? That's a big ask to do that that particular one. Oh well, I'm going way past my time. Mm. Well, I guess I'll finish this one up and then I'll have to go. So that it's supposed to be done at 9, but sometimes you get on these little tears and you just want to finish up. Gotcha. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. When I was younger, I had a lot of stage fright, so I would never perform talent shows. I remember I was supposed to do a talent show with my sister one year, and we were supposed to sing this Whitney Houston song. I chickened out. I was like, I can't do this. And now I don't have a problem being in front of people at all. They call it performance anxiety. That was me. Yeah, I wish I give it up to people like yourselves that are able to, to have done that because that's a great experience. Like my goddaughter, she is into theater and she loves it and she's fantastic. She did a story based upon the Harry Potter characters, the Hufflepuffs, and it was basically during the time of I think it's the Goblet of Fire, and basically it was just that house and all the shenanigans that went on in their house, and she was great, and she just pops off. She becomes like a different person. Mhm. So anybody that's able to do that, even in regular theater, yeah, they're just super talented. So I give it up to anybody that has that skill just to be in front of people and be fearless. All right, so okay, what is your favorite musical of all time, if you have one? House. That's not working anymore. I forgot to turn that off. That's good. Yep, that was my favorite. It's in my top 3, and I love it more now that I know the history of it. Yeah, the guy that wrote it, he died the night of the he was dying as he was writing it. So it's kind of like it was like a reflection of what he was going through. So the drag queen that was in there, that was like a version of himself because he had HIV and he was dying as he was writing the whole thing. And I think he died. I think the opening night of of the thing. If my memory serves me right, I think that's what happened. He either died the opening night or was like somewhere in that area. Yeah, it's pretty cool to, that one was the music in that one just was it popped off like nobody's business. It was so good. So so good. All righty. All right, guys, it's been fun and it's been real. I gotta get myself out of here. I will be back on Thursday, bright and early, probably around like 7 ish. Because I got a thing to do later on that day, and then I might pop up in again on Thursday. But I hope you guys have a great day. And Kay, I'll be up to listen to your stuff later on when you're up and going. Real quick question before I go: are you doing tattoo stuff today, or are you doing painting? Sweet, I love it. I love it. I love it. I can't wait to see what you do. I really can't. All right, have a good one, guys. I'll talk to you later.